Hey kitties, and welcome back to Abundant Insights. It's Dil Divine here, and in today's Wellness Wednesday update, Spirit has a message of abundance for you. So be sure to stick around and let's jump into our reading about how you can go about cultivating abundance with Spirit's help. Before we do jump into that reading though, I do want to thank you all so much for your support and your time for being here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps out so much. And remember, our goal here in April 2020 is to hit 50 subscribers this month, okay? And trust me, the sooner we get to 100 subscribers, the sooner we can get away to a giveaway that I would love to do for y'all. Alright, so please be sure to pass along this amazing insight to all your family, friends, and loved ones. And now, without further ado, let's get into your Wellness Wednesday update. Alright, hey there kitties. Thanks again for tuning in for this week's Wellness Wednesday update. And we are going to jump right into the reading. Alright, so as you know, we're going to begin Wellness Wednesday. I want to keep it going where I'm using the numerology guidance cards by Michelle Buchanan to kind of start and see what is the main theme from Spirit that they want us to kind of focus in on as far as achieving our goal of wellness. Alright? And just so you know, I just finished meditating right before this. I did a couple meditations today, and right before this one I felt called to meditate with Archangel Raphael, so getting some good healing in here. So let's see what messages Spirit has for all of us, and especially what is Archangel Raphael kind of bringing through for us. Please and thank you. Thank you. May we have a guidance. Alright, nice and simple. Wow! Wow! Okay, look at this, kitties. We got abundance. Okay, I know this is Glare City. Oh, there we go. Abundance. Look at that. 88. 88. 888 is always associated with abundance. We know number 8 as well is associated with abundance, with manifestation, with strength. This is like pink on pink. This is so much like, what is it? Give me all this rose quartz, this loving energy, this... Even though I know heart chakra is very green, to me I also associate it with... I associate pink and rose quartz with the heart chakra as well, just because a lot of associations with love, loving energy, that's the gateway and the portal for unconditional love to flow to and through us. So wow, the fact that this is coming out first, that's a really great sign for a Wellness Wednesday, don't you think? Like I'm not even gonna spend too much time just speculating on that. I will say, the big thing about abundance, though, is a lot of times when we see abundance, and I get it with the world we live in, we jump into thinking about, money, like tangible wealth, financial prosperity, wealth, assets, things of that nature. And those are all facets, or can be facets, of abundance. But we also have to remember that abundance is a state of being, if you will. We have to understand and view everything in our life as being abundant, as in having more than enough, and believing that not only all of our needs are met, but like we have more than enough to kind of pursue our dreams, right? To live comfortably and joyously. And so abundance also applies to, our senses of love and love with other people, the exchange of love. So abundant, relationships and connections that are significant. We want to think about having abundant health, and that's health inside and out. So abundance, it ties into wellness perfectly in reality, because, many of us want to have abundance even tangibly as far as our resources, so that we can have access to the healthiest foods, the healthiest therapies, kind of like just materials and routines that, yes, cost money to access, but are amazing investments in ourselves, in our total well-being, right? And we know that, unfortunately, for folks who have lesser means in most societies in the world, they're working more hours for less wages, and due to that, very skewed dynamic, they're not able to, I want to say, attain or maintain wellness as much as, a wealthy person who has a lot of resources. And not only we're talking money resource, but the resource of time, right? So abundance is really like having more than enough of resources at your disposal, and not playing into that in a scarcity consciousness, not buying into a lack consciousness, lack mindset, right? Abundance is all about believing like I have more than enough, and that is not stopping anyone else in this world, in this dimension, from also having and experiencing more than enough. A lot of dominant society paradigms and language really keep us fighting in scarcity and lack, always making us think there's not enough, there's not enough. And then these can become self-fulfilling prophecies. Now, I'm not being naive and saying that we never, experience moments of struggle, of lack. Of course we do. But we know the longer we stay in that mindset, we stay in that experience believing this is our reality, it needs to be our reality, and we put that energy out, the longer it lasts, versus when we reach, that breaking point or that end point and saying, enough of that, I believe that things can change, I'm putting all my energy towards manifesting this change, I'm going all in, I believe in this. And you notice, like, when people get to that point energetically, the changes really do manifest, they really do attract the shift. And in the greatest stories, that's why it's called a comeback, because people are like, whoa, like I was so worried for you, or I didn't even think it would be possible to bounce back from that, to come back from that. How'd you do it? And it really is about being like, what, I'm at rock bottom, I've got nothing left to lose, or at the very least I refuse to lose anything else, and I believe and I know and I have faith that there is something better, and I'm gonna achieve something better. Like, it's that level of conviction and faith. And I don't know why I just got pulled on that abundance right there, but that was definitely a message for some of y'all. So comment below if that resonates or is kind of hitting you. As well as I am feeling some pressure in my throat chakra right now, so maybe for this Wellness Wednesday, we also want to make sure that we are paying attention to our throat chakras, expressing our truths, as well as making sure we are engaging in creative outlets. I know that I was procrastinating a bit like today and yesterday, and so I think that's another reason why I'm probably feeling this throat chakra, because it's like, you should have been doing this, and I'm like, I know. Alright, so to kind of give us some more clarifications, we're going to use the Mystic Mondays Tarot by Grace Dong. Pardon the blur, but I'm gonna put the title and the author as well as a link below. So check that in the description box if you are curious about which decks I'm using and want to kind of browse the website, check out the reviews for yourself. Maybe even see some more pictures. Alright, dear Spirit, spiritual team, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Michael as well. What clarifications do we have for this Wellness Wednesday update for this theme of abundance number 88? Please and thank you. What do the viewers need to know about this blessing and this message of abundance for this week, for this Wellness Wednesday update? Whenever they don't pop too quick, that means usually Spirit is being very, very particular and wants like the right cards. As well as let me make sure I do another shuffle just in case, balance out the deck. Plus I like to show people that I do shuffle on camera, because you just don't want anyone thinking that you're staging a reading. Plus I also feel like, oh, there we go. Okay, that's one. Please and thank you. I have two more cards. Archangel Chamuel, please join us. Archangel Chamuel, please join us in Alrighty, so let's see here. First up and out, we have the Four of Cups. All right. Then we have the Princess of Swords. Pardon the blur. Princess of Swords. And then we have the Six of Cups. Pardon the glare. Pardon the blur. All right. So let's see here. Let me get my bearings. Alright, so with this Four of Cups here, right? So we have a glowing, hovering cup in the middle, in between these two luxurious, beautiful palm trees, right in the middle, dead center, floating above the person in this meditative posture, right? In front of her, in the foreground of the card, we see three cups. Presumably, as I hit the camera, pardon me, presumably empty, right? Now, in the traditional tarot, when I see this, you usually see a person with their arms crossed, looking a little bit kind of like either apathetic or detached, and they're looking at the three presumably empty cups in front of them, kind of like, meh, I'm over it. And then there's a cup kind of being extended from the sky by like a hand from heaven, right? A divine gift. And essentially, it's like if this person just only keeps focusing on the empty cups from the past, what's right in front of their face, like if they don't allow themselves to look up, change perspectives, be open-minded, they won't receive this gift, or they won't notice this opportunity coming right at them. So similarly to this card, I'm getting a similar energy because here this person in the meditative posture, it's like she similarly has the choice. She could be in a meditative posture and then be analyzing the cups in front of her and kind of just like ruminating, going through it, going over it, being like, are these cups for me? Like, why didn't these past opportunities work out? You know, should have I invested more time? Da da da. Or this individual can kind of take more time to presumably go inward, at the very least connect with their spiritual self, connect with their intuition, their gut instinct, and then likely by being more energetically aligned and thus controllably sensitive, they could even energetically pick up on this opportunity hovering or floating around them. They could sense it, feel it coming, and then be in a place to also then receive it and allow it into them, right? So that's the Four of Cups, and then that's just kind of like the typical stuff around the Four of Cups. And then paired with this Princess of Swords, like essentially what I'm getting, and the theme of this is abundance. The fact that we got abundance, for me, that being the wellness theme, is basically I'm getting that Spirit is telling you, telling me, telling us that we need to embrace the feeling and the state of abundance. Like I was talking about earlier, like be in a state of abundance, believe we are abundant, know that we are abundant, understand that energy, like abundance is energy, and energy is abundant, energy is infinite, energy is, just endless, and thus we are endless and our abundance is endless. So we just need to become in sync with that vibration, in sync with that belief, really carry it forward, and then we will start to literally like manifest here in the physical world an abundant physical reality. The more we tune into abundance, the more we see it and we feel it and we believe it and we attract it and we co-create it in the physical reality. So if we went from this abundance, this positive omen to start, a reading, and then into this Four of Cups, which is basically calling us into our responsibility and the power of our attention and focus, as well as saying, the universe is attempting to bless us with some kind of nourishment, some kind of good cup to drink, some kind of emotionally fulfilling offer and or opportunity, right? but we have to be in the state of being to receive it. So some of this Wellness Wednesday right off the bat is like basically being mindful not to be too caught up on opportunities or things that either led to a dead end, that you were offered but you did not accept, or that you like were going to accept it and were this close and then backed out at the last minute. Like either way, any of these cups from past opportunities, whether pursued or not pursued and to whatever extent, it's like you have the choice now where you can keep putting your energy and focus on that, or you can kind of be open and receptive to something new, and you should start focusing on how you want to feel. Like even not necessarily getting too caught up in rigid specifics of what you want, but you could definitely daydream, visualize what you do want and how you do want to feel as far as whatever opportunities you want to bring into your life, so that you can essentially cash in on and embrace this message, this opportunity, this gift of abundance that the universe is calling in. And I feel like this is amplified by the fact that we got the Princess of Swords here. Okay, so this is associated with the Page of Swords, but I really feel like interpreting it based off of like what's coming through off of this card in this deck, very specifically right here. Because what I'm getting is like, so you see her holding the sword, and the sword is bending towards her mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like literally arcing back towards her, and then it's bringing this great illumination. It's like she has, it's like one hand is kind of bringing the sword point closer, and the other one's keeping it stable, but it's like as if she's aiming the sword point towards her head, towards the combination of her third eye and crown. And then it's like by having that little energetic meeting, I guess, between the sword and her mind and her energetic bodies, it's bringing that huge illuminating light. So for me, that's the sense of seeking clarity and truth is what I'm getting for the Princess of Swords. And it's kind of like, also what I get from her is as if she had this sense of, you ever have such a splitting headache? Or, yeah, definitely a headache, but really any pain. But let's just keep the metaphor of a headache. You ever have a splitting headache and you're just like, literally, I want to take like a sword, or I want to take something and just like cut, like not to be graphic, but literally cut into your skull to relieve the pressure, to cut away the part that does not serve you, to let the air flow, to relieve the tightness, to relieve the tension. Like you almost like you want to cut through the pain, right? So I'm kind of getting that imagery off of this Princess of Swords. So for some of y'all, I feel like lately your mind has been really just overrun with a lot of thoughts. Like perhaps some of y'all have been dealing with anxiety, something similar, where you're just kind of like battling where to put your energy and focus. It's kind of like you're pulled in a couple different directions. You have different energies and interests and passions swirling about you. Because even on this character in the card, I know the coloring isn't great, but she has a good amount of green flowing through her body, but then she's also wearing a good amount of like purple, lavender, violet, as well as like blue and navy, and there's like white on different parts of her body as well. So there's a lot of colors going on one character, and the green is on her skin in particular. Okay. I got another message. So let me wrap up this one, and then I'm going to get to the other one. One of them is, so continuing where I was building off of before with the whole sword arcing back, is some of y'all are really just, you want clarity so badly. Like you want peace. You want a calm mind. Like you have been stressed, you've been anxious, like you're just like, I want the head pain to stop. I want the pain to stop. Like, please cut through the bullshit. Like, I want this to stop haunting me. I want this pain to end. I want this to stop running through my mind. Like, so if these cups are the past things, like, I think y'all are like getting more and more over that, and I think y'all are trying to put more and more energy and focus on that, but it has not been easy. It hasn't been an easy journey. And I want you all to not give up on it because it is working out for your benefit. Like, don't lose hope. It is paying off, and you are attracting this golden opportunity to you, even if it hasn't been delivered unto you yet. Like, you're putting in the work to build in a strong foundation. This is the Four of Cups. Remember, number 4 is about structure, stability, and foundations. So if this is you letting go of the past and really bringing something new that's really great, and you really learn these lessons and are really committed to freeing yourself from them so they don't repeat moving forward, just hang tight. Keep going for it. I understand it hurts. I understand it's caused you maybe some sleepless nights, some head pain, some agony. It's caused you to essentially have to face more of your shadow and bring the light. I know this isn't the normal interpretation of the Princess of Swords, but just the way this spread is going, this is what it's giving me. Especially because then over here we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups usually deals with connections and relationships from the past, sometimes inner child and or childhood trauma, or relationships from our childhood or with our parents. Like, those are common themes it takes it to, like, to give it like a specific time period in the past. But usually I kind of read it as past energy, more inclusively. And especially because, you know, the way I read sixes are about harmony, balance, and peace in the context of relationships. Now, this can refer to relationships with the self, but also relationships with other people. I'm feeling like by the virtue of the amount of cups, and the level of anguish and kind of healing and pain coming off of this, I'm definitely feeling like this is involving like connections with others. Like, this is not only a matter of reflecting on yourself and forgiving yourself for things that you did. This is also really healing and forgiving things and incidents with others as well, like people we've had significant relationships and connections with in the past. I am getting that. So essentially what's going on here is, because we're flanked by emotion with the cups, and then we have this card, the mental energy, the swords, the air in the middle, and the way I interpret it, you know, is very much Dark Night of the Soul, healing. Like, I'm giving you, it's like a combination of like, it's like with this card, it's like I'm getting a combination of the energy of the Nine of Swords plus the Queen of Swords plus the Hermit. I know that's a lot, and I know some of y'all are like, what? For those of you who don't know, don't worry about it. For those of you who do know, let me know if you feel me in the comments below. But essentially, yeah, y'all. If you feel like you are still in the battle of your mind, like let's say she's in a trance state, right? Like, the reason why the sword is bent like that and like while she's doing it is kind of like, let's say she's in a trance. So obviously she's not gonna literally like take the sword and stab herself in the face physically, but you know, picture if you were to take like, you know, a crystal or a wand, right? And I sometimes hold my wand over my third eye, right? Picture doing that, and then you just are meditating and intending to connect with this object and to connect with the properties therein. You know, that's what she's doing. That's what the Princess of Swords is doing in this card. She's connecting with the sword for its clarity, its ability to cut through the shadows, cut through the bullshit, cut through the density of the forest, so to speak. She wants the liberation, and she's willing to fight. She wants to slay the dragon, the internal dragon. She's willing to do some shadow work and shadow integration. Now remember, you don't have to make your shadow work in such violent imagery, because in reality we want to love and we want to heal and want to integrate our shadow, of course. But also, I also understand that in the Dark Nights of the Soul, there are moments in which healing involves what feels more like battle, and then there's healing that feels more like, you know, tending to nursing, like stitching up the wound, surgery, stuff like that, you know. So this one to me is showing like the real desire for that mental peace and clarity. And because I said 6 is about peace too, it's like and this is all about meditation, and meditation wants peace, is like the pathway to abundance and for y'all to receive the abundance is for you to be about your peace and making peace with yourself, making peace with the past, and really letting the past go. Do not beat yourself up over relationships that did not pan out, opportunities that did not pan out, like these key avenues that had some emotional ties and consequences and weight. That's why they're haunting you. Like, let them go. Like, do not give them power anymore. And the best way to do it, rather than focusing on all your energy on just like, oh, I want to release you, I want to release you, I want to release you. Don't, like Abraham Hicks says, don't focus on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. Focus on what you do want, the divine opportunity, how you want to feel, that golden holy grail. It is here for you. It's coming towards you. Trust, like, this abundance is here for you and wants to reach you. You just have to create the space to receive it, get the peace. You're going to clear out the BS. Because this green, okay, so that's what I want to come back to. Two things. Now, on the positive note, the green flowing and out of this person from the heart chakra could indicate that she's really connecting with the love, and the love is flowing to and through her, and it's freeing her. As well as green, I associate as a color of abundance, of fertility, of creativity, of manifestation. So that's really powerful, very positive. As well as green can be associated, depending, at least from coming from the States, green can be associated with like money and cash. That's a very United States thing, but just putting it out there. So the positive thing of this is like, if you do put in the work to find peace and that tranquility, and really do that healing work to release and free yourself, and then focus on what you do want, the territories you do want to move and expand into, the life you do want to lead, you will receive blessings, bounty, abundance. Like, it can come to you and through you. Yeah, this one, I don't need to belabor the point with the Six of Cups. I mean, it is always interesting to me that in this deck, the Six of Cups, there's 4 empty cups floating around the side, and there's 2 half-full cups right in the middle. And if you look at them, they would complete each other just by the way the indentation, like one dips, the other perks up, like they would complete each other, other halves. So it's like, I like to think about it, it's like, there were the 4 other empty cups, they didn't pan out, but look at these 2 cups right in the middle with this beautiful sunlight rising up above like the mountain or a little dune or whatever, and there's these 2 cups. They're like mirroring halves to each other. They like complete each other. Like I said, if you look at the shape, like that one goes up, the other one goes down. Put them together, and they're like in the color in the center. It looks like 2 glasses of wine, as if they're about to be on a date and be clinked together. So I think, that being said, for some of y'all, if you are, so like I said, abundance applies to all aspects of life, right? So for some of y'all, this abundance, like your mind really was focusing and a lot on like, business, career, finance, makes total sense. Some like just feeling love in all aspects and areas of life. And so, if that's you, like what I'm getting from the Six of Cups is like basically like, if you really release these 4 of Cups, let go of the past, let go of these past distractions. If you have the choice to either focus on all these empty cups trying to float around, or you can start visualizing and really like going in on the cups you do want to manifest, you can attract this love or this connection. Because I feel like for some of y'all, you're thinking about a loving connection, romance, like the abundance of love flowing to and through you. And maybe not even just romance, but just in general, like emotionally fulfilling partnerships, relationships. So you really want your friend group to be, just of the right vibration, of the right mindset, making the right moves that you are also going in the direction of. And if for those of you who are open to some form of romantic and or sexual partnerships, you want that as well. You want people of the right vibration to mix your energy with. You want somebody who, has more than enough in their cup to kind of give, but then also like somebody who would add to yours in a unique, complementary way. That kind of vibe. So yeah, so that's really what's coming through for me with the tarot. Alright, I don't know if that video cut off at some point, but we'll see. Alright, so to kind of bring us towards the close, just to kind of give us a little bit of divine support, we're going to first up we're going to take a card from the Goddesses and Sirens Guidebook by Stacey DeMarco. Okay. Going to use this. First, we'll get a goddess or siren ally to help you pretty much. How do you tune into this frequency of abundance this week? How do you really cultivate abundance in your life and take this gift and this invitation that Spirit is extending to you? Maybe how do you be in this mode of liberating yourself, of attracting and calling in that divine opportunity, being in the receptive mode? Please and thank you, dear goddesses and sirens. Let me get a message, please and thank you. Can we please have a supportive guide for our viewers, for the collective? Please and thank you, dear goddesses and sirens. Dear goddesses and sirens, please and thank you. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Tell me there's two. Of course. You all always get extra. Oh my gosh, y'all are so. No, we're just gonna take two. I'm sorry, God, but we cannot be here all day. Alright, and I'm gonna take one. So this is for the divine feminine side of things, and then for the divine masculine side of things, we are gonna get from the Gods and Titans deck, also by Stacey DeMarco. But first out, from the goddesses side, we have Hathor with contentment, and then we have Gaia with creation. Oh wow, this is actually really, really powerful. Okay. Oh my gosh, really? Okay, well, for every two goddesses, apparently there's got to be two gods, right? Alright, y'all, so over here for the gods, we have Typhon, anger and rage, and then we have Bayame, beauty. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, so starting off with the divine feminines with Hathor and Gaia, contentment and creation respectively. There we go, sorry. Claire City trick. So what I'm getting over here, so look at the way Hathor is kind of holding her belly, like giving that whole pregnancy vibe, clear fertility, right? And then Gaia is literally like fertility, but like all about creation, right? So with this pregnancy. So with this contentment, with this card, with this one with Hathor, I'm getting first up and foremost is being grateful for all that you have, like really just. And not only being grateful for all that you have tangibly, like what's right in front of your face, like your material goods, like that's a huge part of it, but literally be grateful for all of your abilities, for your talents, for your skills, even your ability to create, to co-create, to manifest, like having the ability to imagine, to daydream, to think about what you actually want, how you want your life to be, to kind of go there, to visualize, like, be grateful for those abilities and those skill sets, because those are, and utilize them, because that's what's going to really attract and magnetize you for the life that you do want, to start taking steps in the right direction to live the life you want to lead. Like, this is calling you to go within, and with Gaia here, with like this offering, this gift that she's giving you, like, even though I know this is like a potion in this one, but with Hathor over here on the left is like, I feel like you all, if you really take the time to tap into like this flow, this meditative, this receptive state that the Four of Cups was displaying, if you really balance like the attitude of gratitude and then allow yourself to receive inspiration, to receive support and guidance, I feel like you are going to get some very strong creative hits and guidance on what steps to take to really bring this abundance onto Earth, into the 3D. Like, I think Gaia is like helping you plant and tend to the seeds and really make sure you have a bountiful harvest when the time is right. I feel like this is an early gestation period, or planting the seed period, but take advantage of it, because if you do, where it will lead you will be very, very abundant, very, very prosperous, very, very wealthy. So find your peace and then receive these insights and go with it. Ooh, yeah, and I feel like it's definitely going to be something creative and creative expression, because my throat chakra is feeling it for y'all in this reading. Whew. Yes, okay, yeah. So definitely make sure you're speaking your truth. Make sure you're not speaking negatively, which actually is going to take me over here to the right with Typhon and then Bayam. Some of y'all, with this whole head-splitting energy that I was talking about before, some of y'all may have been really angry regarding these past cups and experiences. Like, when you think about these past situations, like, it really is pissing you off, or it's frustrating you. Whether or not some of them you're frustrated with yourself directly, like pissed you didn't do something or take advantage of an opportunity fully, or for some of the other ones, it's like you feel really pissed off that you dealt with people that were lower vibrational, that you feel like hurt you, took advantage of you, wronged you, screwed you over, whatever it is. Like there is this rage, this wrath about you, where it's just like when you think of this person, it's hard for you to not want to like go on that warpath and cut them up and slice them up. And the Page of Swords can like even usually like does have this like defensive like cut people up energy. Okay, so sorry, and I'm feeling it in my head now too. What I'm thinking is, for some of y'all, is like you're being invited to tap back into peace and gratitude, so that you can receive creative hits and inspiration to really bring the abundance that you're seeking and want into your life. Like, the thing that's blocking your abundance right now, I think, are things from the past, like unsettled, unreleased, unhealed emotions from the past, and particularly dealing with other people. Especially with this level of anger and rage, I feel like it probably is involving like other people from the past. And yeah, this is the second time where I felt called to really talk about past and other energy. So I feel like that's definitely a big part of it, is you're releasing that. Because yeah, there are times where we get really, really upset with ourselves, but usually, I mean, not always, but I feel like for many of us, like when we stay really, really angry about something, it's usually angry at another person. Usually with ourselves, it becomes more like disgust or like disappointment, things like that. Like, yeah, we can get annoyed or frustrated, but like full-blown anger and wrath, that's usually aimed at another person, because it feels like there's no justice, right? There hasn't been justice done. Versus with ourselves, we know we can achieve justice because we're willing to, should we choose, we know we can atone for what we've done, we can change, we can do better, we can learn this lesson. So being really, really angry isn't really going to serve for long. Versus for others, it's a sense of justice. With yourself, you can achieve justice, you hope. With others, you feel like if they don't want it or they don't give it to you, then how are we going to get it? That's how we think. And then obviously going the spiritual path, you realize I don't need anything from them in the 3D. Like, this is what you're doing to liberate and free yourself, is taking control of your own mind, your own thoughts, your own peace, your own emotions. Free yourself of this anger and wrath. Let it go. Like, look at this coiling thing. Like, I think that's important to me, and I'm calling out because it's like that wraps around you, all those spiky edges and that tail. Like, that chokes and constricts and restricts you, right, to hold this anger and rage. It's only holding you back. It's only blocking you from the future blessings, from meeting that other complementary partnerships, friendships, relationships, whatever they are out there. Your bitterness and rage will only like block your blessings, essentially. It's like time for you to cut that away, free yourself. Let go of this anger, like you don't deserve and need to carry it anymore. And then that's why even Bayam here is with beauty. And finding the beauty in everything, even things that look a little weird, like this bird spider thing that's kind of creeping me out. But yeah, I remember from, it's been a while since I've read his passage in the book, but I remember Bayam is so like beautiful, like he has to wear this fabric over his face, like can't be seen, because you know it's just too beautiful, otherwise like people would really drop dead. Like talk about drop dead gorgeous, right? But essentially it's about really appreciating the beauty of everything, the beauty in life, seeing that there's a purpose in everything. I think the fact that, even though I'm not trying to be rude, but this creature kind of creeped me out because it looks like a bird meets a spider and like whatever's going on. I think it's still meant to be on the card of beauty to say we have to find the beauty in the fact that in at least that world, that realm, that creature has a purpose, right? That creature has a gift. That creature has a lesson. We could even look at it and find beauty in like the glowing blue that it represents. We could find the beauty in it if we allow ourselves to and see, okay, you must be carrying symbolism of both spiders as well as birds. So for me, that indicates you are representing both like spiritual messages from like spirit guides and angels, typically associated with birds and guidance. But then you're also like giving the spider, which to me usually brings about ancestral, particularly like grandmotherly messages and support, but like passed on loved ones, more energy, as well as like webs of life, like the ties that connect us, you know, like the fact that like essentially the beauty within is the beauty without, and the beauty without is the beauty within. And so to focus on the ugliness in others is to only highlight and exacerbate the ugliness in myself, versus finding the beauty in others and other things only exacerbates and brings out the beauty in me, right? So essentially I think this beauty card is building off of the whole gratitude or contentment message Hathor opened up with in this row, in the sense of it's like, and even the way Bayam is like posing in this card, like I know it's extra and it's weird, but if you look at the hand gestures, it's like one is like closer to his mind, his brain, his head, and the other one is kind of aiming forward at you, the person on the card. It reminds me of like a very like telepath kind of like hand gesture, you know, like Professor Xavier, you know, Jean Grey, Psylocke, Emma Frost, like, you know, the whole crew. And sidebar, you know, now that I say that out loud, and I'm a little bit disconnected from comics now, like I'm a huge X-Men fan, super huge, but I was like, we need some more like melanated telepaths and telekinetics in that roster. Yeah, and sign me up when they're ready to have a queer, like, person of color telepath, telekinetic hero, because I'm ready. But anywho, okay, back into the story. So Bayam is essentially in this telepathic kind of like pose, an energetic move towards the viewer of the card, the receiver of this message of beauty. So for me, it's about tweaking your thoughts, changing your mindset, changing your viewpoint. It's like Bayam could even give you the gift of finding the beauty in the situation. Yes, it's like pray to your gods, pray to the divine, pray to your spiritual team, your ancestors, whomever, whatever you work with, even if it's just your highest self, like, you know, pray to them or meditate on it, call in the energy or set the intention, segment intent to see the beauty in a situation. Find the beauty in this. If this is creeping you out, if it disgusts you, if it disappoints you, if it angers you, ask to find the beauty in it. Gain the clarity. Bring the diamond light upon it. And ask your spiritual team to help transmute the situation and transmute your mindset on it so that you can see it in a way that serves you, a way that gives you gratitude and then inspiration on what you do want to manifest, what you do want to call into your life. I think, yeah. Wow, come on, Bayan, that was amazing. Like, come on, transmutation, telepathy. All right, that was great. All right, y'all, so I would say it looks like, you know, just kind of put it in one final summation, that the message for you all is to cultivate your peace, and by cultivating your peace, you will bring in the abundance that the universe has here for you. This is going to involve somewhere where perhaps you do need to, I would call out for some folks in the group, forgiveness, both some of it self-forgiveness, but I'm feeling for a lot of you forgiveness with others, being willing to let go of anger and rage. And even if you cannot, or it's not wise to connect with these individuals in the 3D, in the physical world, you can do visualizations of, forgiving them and thanking them and releasing them, praying to their spirit selves, ask their spirit guides to carry the message, to them. You could have your spirit guides broker with their spirit guides, so to speak. But really free yourself, change how you're viewing the situation. And it's so interesting because, look, this is like this is the divine masculine and this is the divine feminine, and we did get cards on this one where they're very, very active, like mindset shifts, tweaks, practices, things to do, versus over here we have the very divine feminine receptive energy about gratitude, allowing yourself to receive creative inspiration, the nourishment from Gaia herself, the divine feminine, that's going to really like come through. But you changing the energy, engaging in these peaceful practices, look, you're going to receive all of this abundance. So that's an amazing time. Thank you all so much again for tuning into Wellness Wednesdays. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Again, remember that this month we have a goal to hit 50 subscribers, April 2020. So please assist me with that. And if you would like to delve deeper, if this was a little too general for you, or you are kind of wondering, okay, but how do I cultivate abundance for myself? Please be sure to check out my copy page in the description box below and book yourself a personal reading. We have multiple options available, and it's a good way to kind of learn how do you best, according to spirit, achieve abundance, get through your blocks, get through barriers, or we can look into a topic of your choice. But either way, the information is in the description box below. All right, thanks again, kitties. I love you so much. Have a great night, and we'll talk more soon.